So I'd like to do a quick little piece on, an esoteric nature of the Millennium Falcon. Star Wars, this is how it appears anyway. I mean, Star Wars appears as this war against the stars, even in our past in religion. You can see we built star forts all over the world. They're quite interesting if you want to go look. I'm going to stick to Ra for now, who was also Horus, by the way. And they had a falcon's head, and they were the sun. Ra was the god of the sky. And Ra became Jesus later, who was a sun god. They switched it around a little bit like they always do in religion. So Ra and Jesus are the same, or Horus. It's all the same ideology. And, in ancient Egypt, the sun, Ra was the sun and the giver of life, which ripens crops, which are worked by man. And because of these, this life-giving ideology, Ra was a pretty important god. They worshipped him very seriously. They believed in it. He was considered the king of the gods. And, this spread throughout the realm of Egypt, upper and lower, through that time period anyway. And then it changed to Horus later on. So it depends on who the pharaoh was, according to what the beliefs in the authority were. And Atum was another one. Atum was sort of a higher form of creation than Ra, and they were associated together a lot. Ra was said to come out of the waters of none when there was nothing. The land, comes out of the waters of none. And Ra was sort of said to be Atum when he was alone in none, which is when there was no land on the planet. And in some accounts, humans were created from the tears of Ra and his sweat. And he has a sun disk on the top of his head, as you can see on Horus, on his falcon's head. And there's a cobra coming out of that, which is your third eye, the eye of Ra. But Ra was thought to travel on the Atet, or two solar barbecues, called the Manjet. And the Manjet, the solar barbecues, being the Manjet, means the boat of 1,000,000 years. So that's the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium is the reference to the time period of the 1,000,000 years, and the boat is the sky ship. The barbecues, solar barbecues, which is a falcon, or the falcon's head, which is Ra. Ra can also be pronounced as Re, R-E. And when Ra traveled in his sun boat, he was accompanied by other deities, being Sia, who was perception, Hu, which was command, as well as Hika, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, which is magic powers. There was a chief sort of cultic center of Ra, the place of pillars, which was later known to the Greeks as the Sun City, or Ptolemaic. Anyway, I'm not too sure about all these pronunciations sometimes, but it kind of reminds me of the Army of the Potomac, and I've always wondered what that was in the U.S. Civil War. If there was something more to that, which I'm sure somehow that this would all connect with language. And again, he became Atum Ra because he was connected with Atum so much, which later became Amen Ra. Amen was another sort of sun. And you can see that with Saul, who is a son, and Solomon, King Solomon, or Saul Amen, Saul Amen as well, being a son type ideology. But Solomon connects to Ra, as well as Moses. Actually, it was Meses and Rames. See, they used to call the pharaohs Ramses, but that was Rameses. Comes from son of the sun, which later became Moses. Well, it wouldn't be Moses because Moses was Meses, not Rameses. Anyway, it gets a little confusing, but that's what they want. They want the confusion, the fusion of the two things together, of the lies with the beliefs, confusion of the beliefs together, from the old religion to the new. They just, and then the generations come and they teach the children, and the generations die out and people forget. That's kind of how it goes. And that's what's gonna happen now with COVID, because all the data that they're recording, this falsified data, is going to go into history. And so when the generations look back, they'll just see that all these people died. And it's just, all these people got COVID-19, which is not true, unfortunately. It's a religion. And when you're checking through etymology of words, you should always read the whole page. There's all kinds of different meanings from different connections to different words. And you'll notice in a lot of them, they all have what's called the root of the Proto-Indo-European word, which is the Aryan word. That term Proto-Indo-European means Aryan, which is pre-Semitic, in the age of Aries, the ram, when the Aryans ruled with their polytheistic religions and authority. Which actually, on this particular page that I like, has a griffin as the logo, which is connected all through, the Tartarian side and the Russians, but connects back through Aryans as well. And the griffin is actually a symbol of protection and safety and strength in that. So think of it that way. And the eye of Ra was said to sort of look over man in a sense of punishment, in a way, to watch out for bad things and to punish people. And the eye, it bears a striking resemblance to the pineal gland in your brain. So if someone were to cleave your head in half, you would see this eye of Ra inside, which is a symbol in the Catholic Church. The pineal gland is a symbol as the pine cone, and that can be seen at the Vatican. So that these all connect as well. Esoterically, of course, which means for those in the know only.